Last week, we talked about Queen Gethsemane and the faction of Flesh. She's all about change, adaptation, creation, and destruction, and some of you seem to be members of the Flesh faction yourself. We see you being creative out there, and we definitely want to encourage fan art. We love that stuff. Just saying. And a great place to share that fan art is actually our Facebook group, Rise, Conquer, Rule, where we have a bunch of fans, a community, talking about this series as we speak. But when art isn't enough for you, you might look to science. Yeah, the Underworld has science, but they might call it by another name, Osteomancy. The study of precisely calculating and in turn manipulating reality itself. Perhaps you'd be interested in one of the greatest Osteomancers in all of the Underworld. This is the School of the Dead, and I will be your teacher for the day. My name is Andrew Seco. I am Spirit Faction, and I am super hyped about today's episode. But first, let me tell you about our textbook. We're going to primarily be using the Chronicle of the Underworld, and if there's any supplementary texts or materials, I will link them or let you know so you can find them yourself. So let's continue to meet the Alltaker's children. Today we'll meet the logical, the sturdy, and the ever-calculating Xiall. Each of the Alltaker's children represents an aspect of his being. So just like how Gethsemane represents the Alltaker's humanity and emotions, Xiall represents Alltaker's logic, his reason, his desire for structure. She was created alongside a twin brother named Singvath, who is now mysteriously missing. One of the most important things to truly understand Xiall is that she truly, above all else, believes in the Alltaker and the Alltaker's plan. She believes in overthrowing the celestial realm. Every single action she takes is a calculated and precise move towards that end. She feels that it is her personal duty to make his plan happen. She's the one that's supposed to be logical. She's the one that's supposed to truly understand the Alltaker's intended structure. And so in her mind, it rests on her shoulders to execute the plan. In fact, she feels like only the strict and regimented philosophy of the Bone faction can even make that plan happen. Xiall is operating at a bird's eye view at all times. She basically views everything else that she does as a waste of her time, because she's always got her mind on the bigger picture. And so she has amassed militaries of Spirit-born and Soul-born alike, and they train day in and day out, fighting to become stronger, because Xiall does not accept weakness. In the graphic novel Grave Tales, specifically in the comic Reflections, Xiall literally creates a physical manifestation of her weakness by pulling it out of her mirror reflection. Xiall refuses to accept anything less than perfection, even within herself. Your suffering is unfortunate, but as I said, your extermination is necessary. There is no room for weakness. Xiall is willing to achieve perfection at all costs. She makes the tough calls, and it pains her to do so, but she will do it. For the greater good. To some, that makes her a monster. To others, it makes her admirable for doing what no one else will. And she will execute the perfect plan. She will make the Alltaker's rebellion happen. All the while, Xiall is not just building the Alltaker's armies, she's expanding her understanding of reality itself. Xiall keeps a collection of artifacts and manuscripts that rivals even the Hystathanaeum, the largest library in Ilverness. Many have tried to gain access to her personal libraries, but only a select few have access to that information. This is all to expand her knowledge, to understand and master the science of osteomancy, to further her studies and the studies of the Council of Osteomancy. But let's define osteomancy a little bit better right here. There are mourners who can calculate events with enough precision that they appear to predict the future. That is not the case. They've simply done the math, and they know exactly which buttons to press, which actions to take to make one small domino fall. And soon enough, a great plan unfolds. That is one use of osteomancy, but ultimately, osteomancers are the architects of the underworld. Their calculations are so precise, so specific, so infinitesimally small that they appear to create things out of nothing. One incredible example is Voxengard, the Bastion of Bone. We'll go into detail about Voxengard in another episode, but for this episode, just look at it. This was all created through osteomancy. The structures are just like Xiall's personality. Rigid, intentional, and strong. And Voxengard is where the Council of Osteomancy actually meets. The Council of Osteomancy is in charge of administrating the laws of the underworld. We'll certainly go in depth and meet members of the Council in another episode, but for now, let me just say that the Council of Osteomancy is comprised of powerful and knowledgeable mourners, each of them working, fighting to reach Xiall's ideal: perfection. Perfection is attainable in Xiall's mind. Everyone can achieve it, and she will, no matter the cost. In her mind, everyone can rise to their potential just as she did. And she will help the Alltaker rise, conquer, and rule. And that is Xiall, the leader of the faction of Bone, the Chancellor of Bone, and perhaps the most powerful Osteomancer in the Underworld. And as always, if you have any questions whatsoever, let us know on our social media, comment on our posts, we will respond to you, and we want to answer your questions. And later this week, watch out because we will be quizzing you on the episode. Thank you so much for watching this episode of School of the Dead. We are really enjoying making these for you. Tune in next week to learn more about the Alltaker's children, very specifically Elianastus. Now go, mortals, rise, conquer, and rule.
Hey, did you like that video? Be sure to subscribe by clicking the S icon on your screen and click that bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is posted. If you'd like more info on the items featured in this video, click the link provided under Product Info. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.